Okay, version 2.3 has been released. So these are the full release notes of all the changes made. So we'll start with a lot of the bugs. There's a few bugs in this release, but the standout feature, at least in my opinion, is the MailChimp integration. So we'll take a good look at that. That's pretty exciting. But just let's kick it off with the first bug, is the double / URL generating in the URL. So that was a good little fix there. Just when you're making new page or module items. I won't go into that one too much. The form submission data in autoresponders when you're creating new items from the front end. So we've got a lot more access to the data that's submitted now in the autoresponder. There was a few bugs in that. So we can use the form submission data in various ways now, and also get the member information of once that's submitted. Then we've got the custom module search by categories, tags, and checklist type items. Wasn't working properly, so that's been resolved. Okay, and we've got opening custom module items in a new tab goes to that admin dashboard. So this is a little annoying issue when you're in the admin and you want to open multiple tabs, like you might be editing multiple items at once, or you want to open them all up so you can edit them quickly. Opening in the new tab was just sending them all to the dashboard, so you couldn't do that. So that's fixed, so that's really good. The canonical link causing a liquid error when it was empty. So that's fixed. So now if there's no canonical link, the tag won't be output to the template, the page, and there won't be that liquid error. So can't add www to the primary domain in the SEO section. So now we can add www as well as any other subdomains. So that will update in the sitemap XML file as well. Disable page renders. I'll go to a blank document. So if you had a disabled page, but someone tried to go to it, it wouldn't go to the standard 404 page. It would just have a white screen. So that's now fixed. So date comparison in the module components. So if you're trying to filter via date, that was not previously working, and now it is. There's a few little things to note with this one. It's an exact match, so you can't really filter by sort of a date range, like a month or something. So it's an exact match, and it also doesn't look at the time component of the date time string. So we're just working on the sort of the date component. And if the system will try and pass a date string, maybe there's some different ways you could write it that the system will understand, but if it doesn't understand it, or it's not a valid date string, then it will just be ignored and the filtering won't be applied. So there was a nice editor bug, strange one. If you had a $sign and a number, so a price somewhere on the side, the editing of that section would break. So that no longer happens, which is excellent. Item without a detail layout shows completely blank. So similar to the previous bug where it just wasn't directing to the correct 404 system page when something wasn't sort of configured right to be able to render properly. So in this case, if you didn't actually assign it, or there was no detail layout available, and you tried to access a detail your page of an item, so that's been resolved there. Bug with rendering the SEO title or meta title. So yeah, there were some issues with this one with duplicate tags, and it would override what you had in there. So now the system will honour your own title tag if you have one, hard coded in, or you're doing your own liquid logic to put that in. Otherwise, the system will automatically add one based on the SEO title field, or if that's blank, it will then use the item name. So I'm pretty sure that's how it worked in BC. So that's pretty much in line with that now. The item URL preview not updating correctly. So sometimes when you changed the URL structure of an item, so you're moving a page into a folder or changing the name of a custom module like group, the preview URL that you would get under the URL field wouldn't update correctly. So now that is. So that was causing a bit of confusion. Alternative domain for trial sites. So this is a good one. So no longer if you're white labeling, you don't have to reveal the treepl.co domain and site. So we can use our own. Use an alternative one called trialsite.co. So a bit more generic. So that's really cool. So we're in the backlog items now. Wow. So new features. So MailChimp integration. So kicking off with being able to supply your API from your MailChimp account. And there's a link here to go and grab that. There's a little note here. You may have to change the data center code in this link. Maybe if you're outside the US, that means. I'm not actually sure where to get that from, but I'm sure there's some help documents in MailChimp to find that out. But yeah, basically you just got to go grab your MailChimp API or generate an API from MailChimp. Then put that into the admin. Then we can start using it. So we can add mailing lists. So how I read this, we've got the ability to push or create mailing lists within Treepl CMS and push them to MailChimp so that they get created there. We can change them in Treepl CMS and that will reflect in MailChimp. But from what I understand, it doesn't work the other way around at the moment. It doesn't pull down what you've currently got in MailChimp, and if you create mailing lists in MailChimp, they don't come down to Treepl. That's how I understand it at the moment. Then we've got the mailing list subscription option in a form. So that's obviously how you get people to subscribe. So you can create a form as you would normally, and there's now the option to add a checkbox. Is that it? Yeah, checkbox for as whatever mailing list you've created in Treepl. So it'll automatically show you all the mailing lists you've got, and you can add them into the form. And this is the code that it will spit out in the generator. And it's just an idea that obviously when you submit the form, the CRM contact record will be added to the subscribed list, and the mailing list properties is also included in the form submission data, so you can use that data within your autoresponders or your form confirmation messages, whatever, and also added to the CRM form submissions section in the admin. So it all looks like it's all working in really nicely there. Then we've got MailChimp API integrations for the subscribe and unsubscribe event. So how I'm reading this is that if a user goes through a subscription process or an unsubscribe process of a mailing list within your MailChimp account, MailChimp's going to push that event to Treepl, and then Treepl's going to check against what mailing list you have in Treepl. And so obviously if the mailing lists match up and the CRM contact match up, then that action will be reflected in Treepl. So if they unsubscribe, they'll be taken off the list in Treepl. And these sort of if statements here are just giving examples on what will happen. Basically, like if the list isn't a match or has been deleted or something like that from Treepl, then it'll just ignore the request, the event. So that's just sort of trying to keep the unsubscribe and subscribe events in sync, I guess. Okay, so MailChimp API integration for the CRM contact mailing list management. So just the ability to manage who's on the list, basically. So from two sections, you can view the mailing list subscription from within the CRM record. So if you look at the individual contact record, you can see what they're subscribed to, but then you can also look at the subscribers from the mailing list section. So that was similar to BC as well. Then we're moving away from the MailChimp stuff to some Google Analytics information in the dashboard. So it looks like we're getting two more sort of sections, two more stats to track or put into the dashboard. So when do your users visit? So time of day sort of thing. How are your active users trending over time? Yeah, so that's good. The more information we can get in there, the better. Or customize that. That's great. And then a refinement to the recapture for mobile. So this is basically just using the data size attribute with the value of compact, which you could do already. It's just that that just makes a smaller version for it, for the capture. So on mobile, I guess it's better to have the compact version such that it fits on the screen better, and the form generation that occurs just automatically puts in the liquid logic to display one or the other based on the device type, so whether it's a phone or desktop. So yeah, like I said, you could do that yourself if you want currently, but now it just happens automatically with the form generation. Default date picker. So when you add a date field, obviously the attributes are going to be in the input to make it a default date picker that the browser is going to interpret as a date picker. So that'll be different on every browser, just depending on how they implement that. And I'm assuming that's a HTML5 thing, so I'd probably just be wary if one of your sites isn't HTML5 yet, that may not work. Just be wary of that. And then we have this settings area for system modules. So this is a cool one, but the note down here is that it's for Pro Plus plans only, so probably a little bit limited there, but basically it's giving you access to the settings and the layouts and the properties of all the built-in system modules. So in my mind, it basically turns the system modules into custom modules, and the full-fledged custom modules, the nested custom modules. You can change their name even. Yeah, it looks pretty cool, but essentially it just turns them into a custom module. So, but yeah, Pro Plus plans only, so just keep note of that. Show the correct IP address for data center. So when you're activating a trial site, it will report or show you easily the correct IP address to use for that data center for your DNS records and whatnot. Change email notification to auto response. So this is just a nice, little text fix in the form settings page, where you set the autoresponder email that goes out to the user, the recipient, was previously labeled as email notification, where that was getting confusing with the now implemented email notifications, which go to the admins. So this has been changed now to autoresponder or autoresponse, which is a bit more accurate. Global site preview button. So this is one of those really helpful, simple things. Added a home button in the top header bar of your admin, so you can click that and open up your site straight away. We had that in BC. I used it all the time, so very, very helpful to have that there. Then we've got, this is a good one, request.device type property. So now we have more in line, or exactly in line with what BC had with its output for desktop, tablet, or mobile. So currently we had the request underscore data dot is underscore mobile, and it output a 0 or 1, whether it was a mobile device or not. So a little bit limited and hard to work with. This one's a lot better. It gives us the 3 outputs in a much easier form. So that's good. We've got the SEOLG image tag improvement, so the open graph tags. So when you select an image to use, it's automatically appending the sort of the domain portion to that. So obviously you need that because the images are going to be externally referenced. So that's great. I've got nice changes to allow for the web page spell check. So just some compatibility issues there with the spell check in the browser was causing some crashes with the nice editor. So that should now work. We've got add author field in the import-export of custom modules. So that was missing from the import-export. We've got the homepage indicator in the list view. So say you set a page as the home page, there'll be a little icon of a home icon next to that in the list view. Or if you set a custom module item to the home page, you'd see a little home icon next to that, just to help you identify that that's the home page, what's currently set as home page. Extend meta description max value. So I think we had like 300 characters for the meta description area under the SEO tab. Extended that to 400. So obviously that's a SEO sort of relevant thing. Then we've got in the pagination for component tags, or a module component type, improved pagination. So I haven't played with this one yet, but it looks like I think the changes look like it's appending the sort of the module ID to the link. So when you click to go to like page 2 or whatever, it sends the module ID with that. So then the pagination will interpret that for that module. I'm guessing because if you have multiple paginations on the same page, it was getting confused with other modules and was probably changing the paging for all of them. I haven't played around with this one, but yeah, it just looks like it's just made that a bit more robust. And also in the HTML markup that's generated for that, it's just cleaned that up a bit and included all that logic. So that's good. And the last one, running out of breath, redirects to unauthorized system page if login failed. So previously if the login failed, it would kick you back to the home page and just add this URL parameter, which wasn't that helpful. So now it actually redirects to the unauthorized system page. Cool. And that's the release notes. So some good stuff in there, particularly MailChimp. Can't wait to get stuck into that. Thank you.